Hi, my name is Jeff and welcome back to my workshop. We're continuing work on the Accurail Reefer kit that we were modernizing. We completed the underframe last time. You can see it's sitting off to the side there. I've already painted it. We'll complete added decals and trucks later in the video. But right now we're going to work on the car body, and particularly the B end of the car. We need to add a brake housing. The kit comes with a standing brake wheel that you would turn that sits above the roof line, but in a modernized car it would have a brake housing on the side. So we're going to add that detail part. I have it sitting on the workbench. It's a brass casting. We're just going to drill a hole through the casting to hold the brake wheel because it's really not a good hole that's in there. And you can see it's kind of started, but it doesn't really go through the casting and isn't really the right size. So we're going to drill that out so the wheel fits in properly. And then also I removed, you saw a slot on the side of it where I had removed the brake platform. It was too high. So we need to hide or cover that, and we're going to cover that with the brake casting. It's actually it has a pin on it. We're going to use the pin to put in that and use CA to glue that in place. And that will hide that opening. And then we'll attach the brake casting underneath it. Or the brake platform rather. So we'll glue that in and we'll add a drop of CA to the back of it to hold everything in, and then use a little accelerant to make sure it glues on tight and holds in place. I like using accelerant. While CA does set fairly quickly normally, I find it tends to move on me if I don't hold it quick enough, and if I hold it too long, then my finger's stuck to it. So I like to use the accelerant because that seems to take care of the problem without my fingers being in the way. So just spray a shot of accelerant on there and everything will, and I actually shot it on the inside so that it would work from the center, and then we'll just hold it in place and everything's sealed in. Now, one of the things I did was I used the brake castings that came with the brake stand that came with it, and I tried gluing that on. That didn't work. So I'm actually going to use a plastic detail part that I have on that. And I'll show you that in the next part as I install that. So with the trucks, I painted them with the plastic wheel sets in because they do a good job masking the journals. And then I'm using my truck reaming tool. You've seen me use this before. And just apply pressure and turn it until you stop feeling it cutting. And then turn it the other way, get the other side of that half of the truck, and then do the stop for the other axle the same way. And then repeat the process on the other truck. And this will get you good free spinning wheel sets in your trucks, which helps the car roll smoother and track better and run more reliably. On the Arlington Heights Society Model Engineers layout, we have a spot, and maybe I'll show you a short of testing to see if a car meets standards. But we have a spot. It's at the top of at a bridge in front to the end of 1 yard. And if we set a car on there and just release it without giving it any pressure so that it starts from a dead stop, it should roll all the way down into the yard and get past the turntable, which is where the yard levels out. If it fails to do that and it can't roll freely down a 2% grade that we have, we know the car is not up to standards. Either it's too light or the wheels aren't free spinning enough. As you can see here, they're free spinning as I test them after I put them in. If the axle wants to go in, there we go. And I can actually feel that spinning. In fact, you saw it just take off when I set it down because the wheels were still spinning. With that done, the trucks are ready for mounting, but first we want to put the couplers in. I'm going to use my screw grabber to hold onto the mounting screw. And then I'm using a Katie number 148 whisker coupler. And just set that and drop that in place in the coupler box and put the coupler cover that comes with the kit on. And then screw it in place. Want to make sure that the trucks are spin freely and at least one of them has a little wobble. And I want to glue the weight in place. I'm using Walther's Goo. This is a contact adhesive. I'm putting a bead down the middle of the weight and down, just running it down the sides of the car. Once that's done, we'll cap the goo bottle, because if you don't, it will leak out and will make a mess. Ask me how I know. And then I'm just using a toothpick to spread it out so we have a nice thin layer over the car body where the weight will be sitting. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the weight. Spread it out to a thin layer. And then I'm going to let it sit for 2 minutes. This lets a lot of the solvent evaporate and makes the goo very tacky so that when I put the two pieces together, it sticks to each other and pretty much comes a almost unbreakable bond. You can get them apart if you really have to, but you do run the risk of damaging the car body. Add a little extra, so there were a couple of spots I felt were light over here on the car body, so we'll put a little more down. And then just wait the 2 minutes. Thanks to editing, that'll only take you a few seconds. And we just center the weight on the car body. You will notice that I do have one screw sticking up that's a coupler screw, and that's because I dropped and could not find in my carpeted floor one of the 4 screws that came with the kit. So I substituted a 256 screw that I had, which is a little bit on the long side, but since it'll be inside the car body, it'll be fine. With that done, I've got the glue has had a chance to dry on that brake stand. You can see I did put the brake stand, the stand in there below there, but when I was trying to put the brake wheel on and test fit that, it broke off real quick. So the glue did not hold well to it. But in the process, I did take off some of it. I'm going to use a brick red, which is a fairly close color to the brown that Accurail used. It's a little lighter, but by the time we weather everything, you won't notice it at all. And as you can see, it is a little redder, a little oranger than the base color. But like I said, once we weather everything, it'll be well hidden. With that, I want to thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching.